Okay, so here we are.
Now y'all may have seen some Beyblade mods before, but what if you could actually buy them? Now the first person to ever make a Beyblade mod was Tyson back in Beyblade's first season. He attached multiple ripcords in order to enhance his launch power, and he actually won that match. Now I'm not gonna get into the semantics of whether or not this was cheating or not, because you should already know just how I feel about these main characters and what they do. So let's just fast forward to Beyblade Burst, where we see our main characters recreating the Beyblade layers they use, like Vault did with the original Valtryek, but we'll talk about that later. Some of these bladers create new Beyblade drivers, and some even create launchers. The protagonists of the show are the legends of Beyblade in their own right, because they introduce their own styles, gimmicks, and parts to the sport. Yeah, in the Beyblade Burst show, bladers are athletes. Beyblade is a legit sport. Now the truth is, we can see the start of this happening in the real world. There are bladers who truly take it upon themselves to bring Beyblade to the rest of the world. And there's a way to make money from Beyblade, only it's not by making them or by selling them. Yet. Okay, but they're not fakes, right? You probably heard that fake Beyblades are bad, but it's way better and cheaper to buy fake Beyblades to make Beymods instead of with TT Beys. Now, in theory, a Beyblade made by any other company other than Hasbro or Takara would be considered a fake Beyblade. Now, this includes Beyblades made by you and me, but in the show, all the main characters in the Beyblade series make their own layers, drivers, and forge discs. Vault, Iger, Dante, and the other main characters are able to upgrade their original Beyblade designs. They manufacture their own stadium, like Louie and Vault have before. Or they could even make new launcher designs, like Bell did in Beyblade Burst Quad Drive. He was modifying and adding new abilities for legitimate public and competitive tournament competition. They have the freedom to modify every part of their gameplay to be used in public tournaments. Now, why can't we do this in real life though? But just imagine if we do. Now, I do have a launcher modified with an extra long string, and I doubt anyone would call this a fair battle. In any case though, in the Beyblade Burst universe, there's no recognizable brands. As Beyblade manufacturers, we only see the Beyblade Research Center, you know, the ones that created the evolutions for Roktavor, making any Beyblades. In the Beyblade Museum, we do learn that bladers have been using the dual layer system for years now. Now these rare Beyblades have been retired and can be seen by the public. Now we could even find some Beyblades in hobby shops. Now that is how Vault and Shu got their first Beyblades as explained in the manga. 3D printing, imagination, and metalworking are abilities that make main characters exceptionally knowledgeable, not only in Bey theory, but in other skills that can make money in real life. Now if someone did what Vault did and sell Beyblade evolutions, or let them use the 3D print file, like I assume Vault did with Rashad, along with winning tournaments, they could start their own Beyblade empire by producing Beyblade spare parts, stadiums, or custom Bey designs. Well, what if I told you that there are Beyblade main characters doing this in real life already? From making Ben 10 inspired Beyblade watches, unique 3D printed Beyblade designs, and ultimate Beyblade conversions. The Beyblade community has come a long way in the past 2 decades. These few bladers have taken Beyblade and modifications to the next level. You may have seen Beyblade mods before, but not like this, and not until now. But what does it take to make mods like this? And if you could, would you buy one? And well, can you really make money by selling Beymods? Well, I spoke to a few Beyblade mod experts to find out what they make and items we can buy from them. You can find their respective links in the description below to show support for them by buying their mods or following them on social media. Some Beyblade modders offer a glimpse into the future of Beyblade, as I see it anyway. Some use 3D print code files to create Beyblade parts you can actually buy. But how can you make money as a Bey modder? Let's find out. So Bey modder isn't a job title just yet, but they can certainly make money. I know we all want to be able to make our own Beyblades to sell, or perhaps it's bigger than that, as the Beyblade 3D printing community has steadily grown since the inception of the 3D printer itself. You may want to sell, print, and design your own unique Beyblades. But along with the amount of print files available to download, there are now multiple shops already selling 3D printed parts for reasonable prices. So then how do these Bey modders make steady money? If you want to be a Bey modder as a full-time job, you're gonna really have to work on 3 crucial things. you have to work on being fast at designing Beyblade layers, modifying print files, and have access to 3D printing. Okay, maybe you don't need a 3D printer, as there are some websites that offer 3D printing services, like Shapeways and Thingiverse. They allow users to upload designs to be sold, giving creators a small profit from the sale. And this way, they don't have to worry too much about the delivery or packaging. This method may take years to become profitable enough to make a living on. But not only that, there may be legal hurdles to redesigning Beyblade layers or other custom parts to make real money. And that is why I want to focus on lucrative fields of study that can help you make money while learning to make any modifications you come up with into a reality. To me, the Beyblade modders and the Baymakers resemble the main characters in real life. And that's because of how they modify, create, and now inspire a new generation of bladers. Just like I assume Zera does in the show. Crazy Aries is someone who's basically a part of and adding to the Beyblade meta by reinventing Beyblade layers, gimmicks, and evolutions. A blader who has created countless new and unique Beyblade designs and evolutions from many of the show's seasons. Now, if you've seen this Beyblade layer before, it's likely because of this Beyblade YouTuber. They're a Baymaker and so much more. Zera is from a small town in Germany, blading for 4 to 6 hours each day for the past 5 years. They're able to identify Metal Fight Beyblade combinations when battling just from the sounds. And you might be like, really? But if you do the math, blading for an average of 5 hours a day for 5 years, that amounts to nearly 10,000 hours of blading. And as I talk about in this video, is one of the ways to resonate with your Beyblades in real life. You can see their passion for Beyblade and of course 3D printing, inspired by one of the manga chapters seeing Vault upgrade his Valkyrie using a 3D printer. And this is basically before the start of the show. And Kenny with his Hopper. He's a master at repairing and even creating Beyblades too, with the help of Zandork Engineering. Now, Zandork Engineering is a group of 3D Bay artists and designers that specialize in creating 3D printed Beyblade compatible parts, as well as other designs. This brings me to one thing that all main characters have in common: knowledge of engineering, metalwork, and coding skills. Possibly the best methods of making money while making Beyblades or Beyblade modifications in real life. You see, people like Crazy Aries can sell off their rights to toy companies to actually manufacture their creations. I mean, they already have the prototypes. That's what the 3D prints are. So instead of Flame or TD selling fake Beyblades, they could be selling legitimate Beyblades if they acquire the rights. Now, this could lead to royalties per sale or a start of a new Beyblade empire. But once again, I'm just getting ahead of myself because that is an immense investment. Companies in third world countries may already be wanting to do this anyways though. I've made a video exposing where all fake Beyblades come from. Link below in the description. But getting back to making money with Beyblade, Zera's story doesn't end there though. They participated in a worldwide tournament held in France, taking part in a separate Baytuber World Championship. And they managed to beat another Canadian Baytuber called Zanky in the finals. I'm telling you, this is like the plot of a Bay movie already. You won't believe what happens next. So while this commercial plays, grab yourself a snack. This epic win led him to meet Hiro Morita, the manga writer for Beyblade Burst. He showed them his Beyblade, Quasar Galahad, during this event. 3 metal balls per wing that are moving around the outside of the layer. Around 8 months after the World Championships, Flare Dragon was released, featuring a gimmick which is the same as Newton's Cradle Double Strike, Quasar Galahad's gimmick. Now, if you're watching this in Germany, their Bay Club is called Black Water Guardians, which is even recognized by the mayor of the town. Yeah, like I said, I think we're headed towards a reality in which Beyblade becomes more recognized not only as a hobby, but as a sport too. The COVID pandemic may have slowed our social interactions through the first part of the 2020s, but the opposite would be said for others who have found a new passion in blading. We may soon see a worldwide Beyblade championship, but bruh, there has to be some age class division and cash prizes. But when it comes to competitive blading, would 3D printed Beyblades still be allowed to participate? I think it'll be really interesting to see what rules are implied by implementing 3D printed Beyblade parts in tournament. These days though, there are pretty much 2 ways to participate in a Beyblade tournament. One is through the WBO, where you cannot bring any modified parts, and through Blader's Kingdom, created by Michael Nightwing in the USA, which is now hosted by various bladers around the world. They would not allow 3D printed Beyblades to participate in tournaments, mostly because of the possible advantages or disadvantages new gimmicks may introduce. I spoke to Michael Nightwing, and he was firm on his belief that cheating can become commonplace should 3D printed parts were allowed. But not only that, if the Beyblade watch from before caught your attention, it was made by Fake Bayburst Mod, a blader who takes modifying very serious. Did you ever think of a driver that should have been a dash driver? They've probably made it. From their Instagram page, linked below, you can see some of the coolest Beyblade driver mods on the internet. Along with these modifications is a high amount of patience, dedication, and attention to detail that has come with years of experience as a jewelry maker. This knowledge is what helps them create some of the most intricate Beyblade mods I have ever seen. Jewelry setting can be a lucrative career with many benefits that relate to our passion for making or modifying Beyblades. His modifications can be simple and usually take a day to complete, while others can take months. For them though, this is more than a hobby. It's a passion, and one that spans for over 20 years since the plastic generation. Now, they did want to send a special shout out to two other Beyblade modders that have been an inspiration, one being Modburst and the second Ryan8964, and they can both be found on Instagram and the YouTube channel, which I'll link below. And perhaps what sets these bladers apart is that they offer to help others. I want to leave you with a couple of inspiring words from Zera themselves. Practice makes progress, and giving up is not a solution if you want your dreams to become a reality in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll link below in Zera's own words their Beyblade journey, along with other videos you may want to see by this Beyblade Dad.